C'est parti. Let's go. Okay, so good morning everybody. My name is Guillaume. I'm an ETC trainee at Aix-en-Provence ACC. And today I'm going to talk to you about the air traffic flow and capacity management, or how to deal with an overflowing sky. So first of all, for you to better understand what I'm talking about, do you know what is a flow? A flow in air traffic control is an axis along two different places, for example, two different countries, and along which a lot of aircraft are flying. For example, in Aix-en-Provence ACC, one of our main flow is all the German flights coming from Germany or Eastern Europe and flying to Spain, like the Balearic Islands, for example. So now that you know what a flow is, what do we need air traffic flow management? It's obviously for safety reasons, since having a lot of aircraft in a very small airspace is obviously be dangerous. And so the aim of air traffic flow and capacity management is to prevent such problems. Since indeed, since the 70s, the traffic has kept on growing, especially during the last 15 years, despite a few drops caused by the Gulf War or September the 11th, for example. So one of the first objectives of air traffic management, air traffic flow and capacity management, is the safety. Another one is the efficiency, obviously, because having an aircraft waiting on the ground would cost less to his airline, since he won't be burning fuel as if he was waiting in the air. And one last objective is the environmental objective, since at the same time, if he's not burning fuel, he's not polluting. So how does it work? It works with three phases. The first one, the strategic phase, which can start up to 1.5 years before. And during that phase, we are predicting the traffic demand. And usually the results of that phase are structural modification, like the creation of routes or the modification of sectors, the shape of sectors, how they are cut in layers. And well, that's how the strategic phase works. Then, up to 6 days before D-Day, starts what we call the pre-tactical phase. During the pre-tactical phase, we are trying there again to predict the traffic demand. But for that, we are now taking into account the traffic demand of the same day, but the week before. Except for specific days like Christmas Eve or, for example, the Festival de Cannes, which are particularly busy days. And so for them, we are taking into account the traffic demand of the year before. Results of the pre-tactical phase are usually calculated takeoff time for aircraft, so that they won't be in a sector at the same time at a very crowded moment. Or it could be as well flight level capping. They won't be allowed to fly as high as they would have liked to, because the upper sectors are very crowded. Or it can also be reroutings, which makes mandatory specific routes from between two cities. Then comes the tactical phase, which happened during D-Day. So it's a real-time job, and controllers have to deal with every unpredicted factors like the weather or structural, how could I say? In other influencing factors, except the weather, could be a runway blocked, for example. If the runway is blocked, aircraft will have to divert, and some other airfield which usually normally wouldn't have been crowded then becomes crowded. And so it's a real-time job, and controllers have to take advantage of any opportunity to keep the traffic fluid. And to conclude, the improvements of air traffic and capacity management. For the moment, it's working only at a European scale, since all the flight plans of aircraft departing from European countries are gathered in Brussels, and that's how we predict which airspace is going to be crowded or not. And so transatlantic flights, for example, are not taken into account, neither the flights coming from Asia, but still they are coming. So some airspace could be crowded, and without us to be able to prevent it and to know about it before. So there is still a lot of improvements available, like a worldwide air traffic flow management. That's it. I feel like I'm doing much more mistakes.